Hello there, and welcome to our second showcase. In this showcase, we are going to present you the final app for our project, CalTerra, which stands for Calculator Terra. This is a carbon footprint app that we have developed for the last 4 months. Here we're going to talk about our stable release, version 1.0.0, and the app motto is basically how the world rests on your palm. Next. So, before we discuss about the app, let's meet our team beforehand. So, my name is Satya Ananda Sulistio, and I'm the project leader. I'm responsible for documentation in both front-end and back-end. And there's also Farras, who is the project vice leader. He's responsible, the same responsibility that I had. He also assisted in documentation. And the third member is Michael Winston. He is the front-end developer. He is responsible for all front-end works.
All right, so here's a quick summary of what our app does. It's practically an application that is focused on having users understand how much carbon footprint they are creating per day with a few easy clicks and very, very fast and very intuitive steps. In summary, the CalTerra is a mobile app with the goal of a greener Earth and a better future for generations to come. What drives us? So the main objectives of this app is to one, lack of personal involvement, sustainability, and healthy environment should start with customers, or in simple terms, individuals, which our app focuses on. Evolution in human behavior. A recent evolution in social behavior has shown growing attachments between human internet and small-sized mobile devices. Hence why our app is a mobile app, mostly. Response to Earth. Earth has succumbed into destruction even further due to climate change. This has been quite a huge topic in the recent years. A lot of increase in temperatures and a lot of the melting of the Arctic pole. Hence why we are making this app. The core features of this app is accuracy based on white papers. We prioritize the accuracy of calculation done by our app using equations we found in papers. We've transported them into our app for use. And then the second core feature is transparent, aka open source. So practically everyone can contribute to the app and help develop the app to move forward. And there's a gamification of the app where a leaderboard system is created within the app, where you can see and track your progress and see how well you're doing against the entire world. Next. These are the few tools that we are using to create our app. The front end is using Flutter, the back end is using Node.js, and the database is using PostgreSQL. Next. These are the reasons that we've chosen those components that we've just said. Flutter is chosen because as the main front end framework because of its multiple platform instant coding that allows for multiple OS releases, which means we don't have to code for each and every individual OS. Node.js is utilized because it's fairly simple and supports many packages. PostgreSQL is used because data are heavily join focused and relational database is strong within the app because a lot of things intertwine with each other and within the database. Next is emission features. There are 4 emission features that we featured in our app. House emissions, flight emission, vehicle emission, food emission. They should quite easily explain what they are, but I'll very simply explain it. House emissions encapsulates everything that should be in a person's home / living space. Flight emissions covers traveling by plane. Vehicle emissions cover everything such as cars, bikes, motorcycles, buses, and etc. Food emissions is how much you consume each and every day.
Okay, here's house emission page where our apps is. And house emission includes features found in typical households such as electricity, natural gas, water, and there is a home appliance such as air conditioner or dishwasher and etc. First, user will checklist the power source and input the data and save it using save button. Next is when flight emission. Flight emission will cover things such as the type of plane used, the type of class booked during the travel, and the amount of distance between the start and end point of the journey. Below, the example is when user inputting distance, they will check the radio button in the estimate distance and input the amount distance. And when using start and endpoint of the journey, we'll take radio button at the top of page. In vehicle emission, there is types of transport types such as bus, car, train, and etc. First, user will choose the vehicle type and add as much as user want, and input the distance with use of vehicle and save it. Next, in food emission, there is a category in the food emission. User will choose one of the category and save it.
Okay, so before we finish things off and continue to do demonstration, let's take a look at the journey to this stable release v1.0.0. So it took us 4 months to build this entire application from scratch, by the way. Our first ever milestone was reached on November 4th in 2023, in which we have successfully created the entire API using Node.js, and the entire API is also deployed on Vercel, so it can be accessed online through the internet. On December 8th, 2023, we finished the front end, the entire thing, and the remarkable thing about this milestone was that the results were satisfyingly close to the Vicma design we had planned earlier in the process of development. And the third milestone is on December 10th, 2023, in which we successfully integrated the entire front end and back end all together. And at this point, we were ready to wrap things up and eventually reach this point where we are about to release our first ever stable release, which is version 1.0.0. Next. So the application is coming soon. We are planning to release it on Google Play and the App Store. However, the early Android app can be downloaded from our GitHub repo. You can access it online on the link in the thank you page after this. So next. So that is all for the presentations. We hope you enjoy the presentation, and we hope you also enjoy the demonstration after this. If you want to reach us, you can reach us through my email stated over there. I'm the project leader, and there's also the link to the GitHub repository, which is my account /CalTerra. And so for this one, we're wrapping things up. I hope you once again enjoy, and we'll see you some other time. Thank you and goodbye.
Hello and welcome to a quick demonstration of our project application CalTerra. So let's begin with the demonstration. Firstly, you will be greeted by this startup page in which you have two choices, either to log in or register an account. Now for the sake of this demonstration, let us register for the first time ever. Now in here, you are obligated to input your own email. Make sure it is an active email, your username, your name, which is up to you, and your password. Now make sure that your email, username are unique, or maybe haven't been registered prior to this registration phase. Now when you have done registering your account, you want to click over here to click here, or usually you will be redirected to the login page. And in this login page, you may go ahead and insert your credentials you have registered previously. And this is the main page of the application. Now notice how it greets you by your username DemoCal over here. It also shows you your latest carbon footprint and shows you the change compared to your previous month carbon footprint. And in this particular section right here, there will be a chart. However, since this is a brand new account, we don't really have anything to display as of yet because we don't really have the data. We haven't done anything. First of all, you can inspect your account on this particular page over right here, which will show you who you are, your name, your full name, by the way. It's not your username, but your name, the registration date of your account, and it will show you your email, and you can change your own password right over here. And now let's try adding a emission. If I click on add over here, I can choose up to 4 types of emissions, which is the flight, vehicle, house, and food. Now let's try the flight emissions. Now this is a very straightforward way for us to calculate. All you need to do is you can choose between 2 things, 2 methods of calculations. You can simply choose the itinerary of your flight by choosing the airport and the destination, and you can choose between the return trip or the one-way flight. The second method of calculation is you can pretty much override that choice by simply putting in the distance of your flight manually. We suggest you choose the flight itinerary because it is very simple. You see, all you need to do is to choose from a list of airports that we have provided to you, and all of this airport is fetched through the database, and we use it from a public dataset we have gathered on our own. So it's very easy. You just have to choose your source airport or your departure airport. I'm gonna here choose for Yogyakarta International Airport, and I'm going to choose my destination into, let's say, somewhere in, let's say, in Kalila Airport. Now you can choose whether it's a return trip, that means the calculation will be done twice, or it's a one-way flight. Now for the sake of this, I'm going to choose the return trip. And now you have to choose between the 3 classes of flight, whether it's economy, business, or a first class flight. For the sake of this, I'm going to choose economy. And all you have to do is just click on save, and it will automatically upload it to the database. And I'm going to go to my history. Now history is located in the left part over here, in which inside there you can actually see your emission history input. So recently we have calculated our flight from Yogyakarta to the airport that we chose earlier. We can go ahead and go to another emission type, which is the vehicle emissions. Now this one is very straightforward as well. You just have to choose the list of transportation available in this pop-up menu. For example, I'm going to choose the motorbike, and I'm going to put in the distance 12 kilometers. I can choose also more transportation within one span of session. I can choose car, and I can choose the distance, let's say 20. I can choose the fuel type, which is, let's say, petrol, and car size is medium. And I can click on save. And you can see all the recorded emissions over there. Now let's try adding more emission type, which is house emissions. Now there are 2 categories in home emissions. There are the power sources, which is the power source like electricity, natural gas, or water usage in the last month, or you can select from home appliances. Now I'm going to start simple with the home appliances here. I'm going to use air conditioner, and the usage is going to be, of course, in kilowatt an hour. Let's just say I use 21, and I'm going to click on save. I can also go to power source and choose electricity, for example, and I could input in the electricity usage in kilowatt hour and click on save. Now last one is the food emission. Now this is a very simple and straightforward menu. All you need to do is choose from this category. Now I'm going to choose medium meat over here, and I'm going to click on save. Now you can see all of this will eventually sum into that 1051 shown in the main menu over here. Sorry, 1056.76 kilograms. We've added a leaderboard system in the right hand corner right over here, which shows as an icon of friends. You can just click on it. Now you will see that this leaderboard is actually sorted based on emissions, and that sums the presentation and a quick demonstration of our group CalTerra Devs. We hope that this project to grow even further in the future with the power of open source community. We hope that all of you watching this can contribute to the movement of the open sourceness and contribute into the successful future of CalTerra. I will see you later when you use this app. Coming soon, you can download the early access for Android in our GitHub repository. We hope you have a good day and thank you for watching.